So I've been thinking just a lot about like life and land and liberty and justice and freedom. And, we live in a place that has been repurposed time and time and time and time again, just being Americans. And we just had a, national holiday of Thanksgiving. And, just be it as it may be, me and my son ended up not being able to, celebrate it because we were just broke. My family didn't do it and stuff. But as it came time to celebrate, like that day, I was like, I think it's good that we don't have plans today because I really feel wrong celebrating, first of all, any of the fucking stupid ass holidays like Valentine's Day and this and that, whatever. I started going through them and I'm like, you know what? Besides the point, like, we can just keep St. Patrick's Day because that's fine. There's not a bunch of crazy shit in that, and Halloween and birthdays. But Thanksgiving, hey, let's give thanks for, and I understand as Americans, it's like Thanksgiving, but do you realize that there were people murdered for that to have happened? So just celebrating that and eating thanks to that is kind of a disrespect to the spirits that have been murdered for that. So, like, America's going down. It's just a thing of vibration and frequency, and it's because it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. People aren't aware of what they're doing, the way they're speaking. There's certain things that are being forgotten and lost, and those people, those spirits that believed that way, were horribly slaughtered. And their spirits did not leave to go anywhere because they keep saying that we are basically in hell. But hell is what you make it, but it's just earth. But if you think at any level that you're going to get free from this earth by just being a good, kind person, that's really not all that it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really are like the materialism, the have a $10,000, $50,000 watch or purse or $3, $4, $5, $600,000 cars, or be, making movies that may be disrespectful in a way to certain cultures. Apparently, there are certain cultures, their spirits of people take high offense to that. And there's been this revolving thought in my head that's been going about the land and the natives and the messages and stuff. And, celebrating Thanksgiving aside, the very next day happened to be Black Friday. And that's like, all right, let's consume and go on and spend a bunch of fucking money and stuff. Well, I looked at my phone and it says Native American Heritage Day. Oh, big fuck you, natives. Hey, guess what? About the day before, it's like, oh, we slaughtered everybody. Let's celebrate with a big fucking fat turkey. And then on the day that we're like, you know what? We're going to honor you. It's Black fucking Friday. Go out and shop and stuff. Like, are you fucking crazy? If you think things are getting better in America or getting worse in America, it might be because of those reasons that people are celebrating and consuming at a massive level that's just disrespecting our earth. They're littering, and the natives, they are very connected. They're like the earth's children, natives of every land, natives of here, of South America, of fucking New Zealand, of wherever land, there's a native people. And the one thing that I noticed, and I have friends online of all types of natives, I was like, wow, the natives in New Zealand look a lot like the natives from Native America. And then, I learned that I was a Viking, and I started watching the Viking show, and there's a lot of Viking stuff where they're like dressed in feathers and doing dances in the forest with like flutes and things and communing with nature and stuff. Like, fuck, they're just like Native Americans there, but they're native, Vikings over there, and those are native New Zealand people over there, and that's native Maori over there, and there's native Hawaiian over there, and in every fucking facet of the world, there's natives that are just being bombarded out of their fucking homes. In New Zealand, they're trying to make, condos and stuff. In Australia, and there's the land bridge and all this stuff. Like, I have a friend over there that's a native Maori, and he, is constantly in and out of jail, and his brothers. And he is only in jail because he is a truth freedom fighter. He goes and he marches across. He marched his ass across his whole country, waving the fucking flag of his people, of his tribe, telling everybody the truth, and then he ends up getting put in jail. His brother ends up getting put in jail. It's fucking crazy, and maybe he's a little, whatever, but he's not a bad guy. But if anybody thinks that they're getting free from this earth, it's a very powerful spirit. It is alive. If you don't think that it's alive, go outside. There's trees, there's air, there's water. We've been communing on this place for 300,000 years. On an earth that is 4.5 billion years old. So, we basically moved in and sucked it dry. If you look it up online, Earth is unsustainable for life to continue. If you look it up online, Earth is unsustainable for life to continue. Basically, that means we're fucked, right? That means, is that why we were trying to go to Mars? That we're trying to look up and spend a bunch of money trying to shoot meteors out of the sky? Don't look up. Don't look at the clouds. Oh, well, there wasn't even meteors coming, but supposedly there are millions of dollars going to these rockets that they're shooting up there. What are they trying to shoot at? How are all these monies being spent? Money is bad. Money is blood. All dollars are blood money. All dollars. Because they're a lie. It's a debt. It's a debt against many fucking things. And the karmic cycle of life is true. You know, it just is. It's not a person or a god or whatever that's putting that in effect, but you know, our earth is a conscious entity. I do feel things from it. It does impress certain ideas upon me, and then I will commune with it and like speak to it, and then all of a sudden all the birds and all the animals will like roar in like an applause, but it's not applause. They just all kind of freak out for a second. But it happens. There was a time when I was singing karaoke and doing things and learning stuff, and it was like every time I had a moment that was like a momentous moment, all of a sudden, all of the katydids in the tree would go off like applause. Oh, the hella, like hundreds of them. It was crazy. It was sounding like I was surrounded by rattlesnakes, and I was testing it, and I started noticing that they would do it at specific points of time, and then they would just stop and be quiet for hella long. And it wasn't anything that I was doing with the sound. I was trying to test it all out, but I would say something that was like a statement. All of a sudden, it was like people in front of me standing up, applauding. But there were these little fucking insects that would just... But that's the earth spirit recognizing the what I was doing, you know? And we've got to redirect stuff because I mean, it might sound ridiculous for me to say certain things, but then other things that I say don't sound ridiculous. They do sound true. And one thing that, you know, in my communication with this giant puppy, Earth is like a big puppy, you know, water is like a cat, the air is like a bird. There are so many things here that we have forgotten. We have been taught wrong. We have been learned to, you know, consume and buy and get. And that's we don't make our own food like from the ground up. Some people do, you know, but we have sucked this place dry of all of its fucking resources to the point where it's dying. And I can tell you, you can bet your ass that if something was going to go wrong, this place is not going to release your spirit from it. It will keep you here like a magnet because you are a magnetic electric being. So when I say this is hell, it's not, but it will end up being hell because I'm pretty sure the weather and all these things that are connected to the earth may end up being able to be corrected. The floods, the disasters, the fucking torrential, the times are going to be ending. Everything is apocalypse because my dad was like, oh, and we don't have any lime. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have lime? Not limes, but like lime, the material, because he's a pesticide farmer, which is kind of rough too, you know, but he can't afford to go organic. It takes 7 fucking years to do the certification fucking process. And he's just old school and it's just poison, just put everything poison. So it just is what it is. And he's not going to listen to me tell him anything otherwise, you know, because I'm like, well, why do you need lime? And he's like, well, we can't get it because Mexico and they can't import it and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, look, Dad, that guy has lime on his truck. Follow him. He's like, no, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, no, find out where they have it. Why don't you go down to Mexico and get a truck and bring it up here and then share it with all the farmers or whatever? No, also just blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, well, why do you need the fucking lime? He's like, well, to get the copper off. I'm like, okay, why is the copper there? Because I'm like, I feel like I'm crazy sometimes because I'm asking a question to get to a point, but then people treat me like I'm a little child and they don't answer me like what I'm asking. And it's just like, am I speaking in some sort of magical tongue that people cannot hear? But anyway, he's like, well, you got to get the copper off of the tree so the lime removes the copper. I'm like, all right, well, so what else can take that off? So I looked it up online. Hydrogen peroxide and vinegar would actually take that shit off of the fucking tree. You don't have to put lime on it. I don't know if lime hurts the earth. I'm just saying there is an alternate plan, a route, or a way to go for every fucking thing that's done wrong, because if it's being done wrong or improperly, there will be a way to do it properly. So I'm like, well, why do you put the copper on? Well, he puts the copper on to keep the hoppers away. Hoppers, what's a hopper? And he's like, it's the grasshoppers. I'm all, wow, so if you guys didn't have any lime to take the copper off, there at some point may be some sort of a horrible plague of locusts swarming the area. May make it seem like an apocalypse is upon us. So a lot of these gloom and doomsday, I'm friends with conspiracy theory people. I am a part of a conspiracy theory group. I call it my truth group. So it sounds a little dumb, but I don't even mind being called a conspiracy theorist. I don't even theorize anything. I just find truth and I express it. Be what label you want to put on it, that's what it is. But in my communions with this earth puppy that we live on, what would rectify all of the pain and suffering and thievery and things for the natives of this land Yeah, the cost is one chicken. Nope, you cannot sacrifice one chicken any longer. It would have to be the United States of California. That's right, California. Did 2 Chainz say it? California? Anyway, California, Pennsylvania, and New York could stay United States of California, and all the rest of the land would have to go back to the natives. Oh, that's fucking redeemed. Oh. Okay, well, I'm just saying, that's what the giant earth puppy said to me. So, the earth puppy said, in order to rectify all of the pain and suffering and murdering that you did to children and women and innocent, loving, kind, honest children of fucking earth, you know, that their natives are like so connected in so many ways, and you made their ways illegal. I have a friend who's native. His Rain James Lee Two Wolves, fucking badass fucking native name, right? He told me some of the stuff I was telling him. He goes, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? How do I know that?" And he's like, "Well, we go to like a special school. They teach us the old ways. You know, it's kind of a secret thing. How do you know all this stuff?" He was kind of offended for a minute, and I said, "I don't know. It just comes to me, and I just, you know." So he let it go, but he let me know that, you know, you're not can't just, what are you gonna just stand up for the earth and the world? You can't just be the spokesperson for everything. You need to be the mom to your son, blah blah blah. Well, he just jumped on the bandwagon of everyone else that just looked at me and thought I was doing a bunch of bullshit stuff that I wasn't doing. You know, it's just calling the kettle black. It just is what it is. But you know about things about black? Well, you got white, you got black. Well, people think that white and black are like light and dark. And light and dark are like good and evil, or God and Satan. If you think for 1 second that God and Satan are separate entities, they are not. Okay, they're the same thing, but it's all one thing, and it's all part of us. And some people may think we've been abandoned, we've been left behind. God is dead. No, it lives within us, but we don't love anymore. We just hate, and we're angry, and we're vengeful, and we're prideful, and we want to splurge and spend money. Every dollar is a blood dollar, you know? But maybe some people are racist because they are ingrained in the system in such a way that dark is evil, dark is bad. So you look at someone who's dark now and you're going to think that they're bad. That needs to be fucking, you know, dealt with in whatever manner that is. But did anyone else ever think to pick that out? Why does racism exist? They just, they're racist, they're racist, they're racist. Okay, let's do black pride, let's do brown pride. As a white person, I was, a little bit, I would be like, well, what if I did one pride, white pride? Oh my God, you're a Nazi. Well, I'm sorry, you have a brown pride and you have a black pride. Why can't I be white pride? But that makes it wrong. I mean, but it does. I'm not saying I want to debate that. I'm just stating the truth of the situation, that everybody has to go, you know, Black Lives Matter, totally. Fuck, all lives matter. But you know what? The earth matters too. And if people think that they're going to leave this earth and they're going to leave their fucking children here in this shithole, I do not want to leave my son here in this earth. If I can leave this earth and somehow open a rift in time and take him to another dimension or another place where there are kinder, better people, bet your ass I would do that. Oh, fuck, can we do that? I don't know, because I've never died yet, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. I just know that if I don't do everything in my power to leave my son in a world that I would want him to be in, I'm a bad mom, and I don't want to be a bad mom to my son. You know, but we're all being bad people to the fucking Mother Earth that we live on and look to survive, to keep us alive, and it is unsustainable for life to continue. Fuck.